Have you ever felt like you're in a valley? A place where your hopes and dreams have dried up, scattered like old bones. Maybe it's a broken relationship, a career that's hit a dead end, or a personal struggle that feels impossible to overcome. You look around and all you see is emptiness, a graveyard of what could have been. You might even ask yourself, can anything good ever come from this? Can these bones live? This feeling isn't new. Thousands of years ago, a prophet named Ezekiel found himself in a similar situation. God led him in a vision to a valley, but it wasn't filled with green grass or flowing streams. Not just a few, but a vast field of very, very dry bones. Imagine the scene, a silent, desolate landscape littered with the remains of a once great army. It's a picture of absolute hopelessness, the end of the line. Then God asks Ezekiel a piercing question. Son of man, can these bones live? Think about that. From a human perspective, the answer is an obvious no. They're not just dead, they're dry. All signs of life are long gone. But Ezekiel, standing in the presence of the Almighty, gives a wise and humble answer. He says, "O sovereign Lord, you alone know." He deferred to a power greater than what his eyes could see. What happens next is truly incredible. God instructs Ezekiel to do something that sounds crazy. He tells him to prophesy to the bones, to speak life into a situation that is utterly lifeless. Dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says to these bones. I will make breath enter you, and you will come to life. I will attach tendons to you and make flesh come upon you and cover you with skin. I will put breath in you, and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am the Lord. So Ezekiel obeys. As he speaks, something miraculous begins. There's a rattling sound, a noise that shatters the silence of the valley. The bones start coming together, bone to its matching bone. It must have been a terrifying and awe-inspiring sight. Then tendons and flesh appear on them, and skin covers them. An army of bodies, fully formed, now lies where scattered bones once were. But there was still no life in them. The final step required the breath of God. God tells Ezekiel to prophesy again, this time to the breath, calling it to come from the four winds and breathe into these slain bodies so they might live. Ezekiel does, and breath enters them. They come to life and stand on their feet, a vast army. What was once a symbol of death and defeat is now a symbol of resurrection and power. God then explains the vision to Ezekiel. The dry bones represent the people of Israel who felt their hope was lost and they were cut off. They were in exile, feeling defeated and forgotten. But God's message was one of powerful hope. He promised to bring them back from their graves, to put His Spirit in them, and to restore them to their own land. It was a promise that no situation is too dead for God to revive. This story from Ezekiel 37 isn't just an ancient tale. It speaks directly to us today, right where we are. What is the valley of dry bones in your life? What situation seems completely hopeless? This passage is a powerful reminder that with God, nothing is impossible. Our perspective is limited, but His power is not. He is the God who speaks life into dead situations. The key for Ezekiel was obedience. He was asked to do something that seemed illogically speak to bones. But he trusted and obeyed, and he witnessed a miracle. Sometimes, what God asks of us might not make sense in the moment. It might be to forgive someone who hurt us, to take a step of faith into the unknown, or to simply keep speaking words of hope and life over a situation that looks bleak. God's power is made perfect in our weakness. When we, like Ezekiel, say, "You alone know," we are acknowledging that our own strength and understanding are not enough. We are surrendering our impossible to the one for whom all things are possible. It's in that place of surrender that we create space for God to work His miracles. He can reassemble the scattered pieces of our lives, cover us with new purpose, and breathe His life-giving Spirit into us, making us stand tall once again. So, if you're standing in a valley of dry bones today, don't lose heart. Take a moment to look up from the bones and look toward the one who is the resurrection and the life. Speak his promises over your situation. Trust that the same God who raised an army from a valley of bones can bring life, hope, and restoration to you. Thanks for watching. If this message resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to Scripture Power Stories for more content that inspires hope. See you next time.